Oh, most traders fail their Propfirm evaluations. And not because they can't trade, and not because the rules are unfair, but because they approach it wrongly. They treat it like a lottery when it's actually a process. And today, I'm going to show you in this video how to pass your Phidias evaluation. From choosing the right account for your trading style, to sizing your positions intelligently, to the exact setups I use to hit profit targets consistently in life. And this isn't theory, this is a system. So if you are ready, let's get funded! So first of all, let me tell you something personal. When I first started trading Propfirm evaluations, I failed multiple times. And not because I didn't know how to read a chart, but I failed because I was impatient. I was greedy. I treated the evaluations like I had to prove something, instead of trading it like a professional job. One evaluation I was up to $3,800 on a $4,000 profit target, so $200 away from the profit target. I just could have taken one clean trade and the next morning, the next day, just been done. And instead, I saw what looked like a perfect short squeeze setup. I sized up, the market squeezed, I revenge traded, and by lunch, I had given back all my profits. So that day, it taught me something that I'll never forget. Passing an evaluation is not about being a genius trader. It's about being a disciplined trader. So since then, I've developed a complete system, a framework, my own framework, and today I'm going to give you everything. And here's the roadmap. First one, choose the right accounts. Find your perfect fit. Second, master your position sizing. Third, understand the rules. Fourth, the opening play. Five, some strategic setups that I trade. That's why we're gonna talk about in this video. Let's get started! So one of the things I love about Phidias is the variety of accounts they offer. There's something for every trading style and every experience level. And let me break down each option so you can find your perfect fit. So the 25k static account, we can call it like the smart entry point, because this one is one of my favorite accounts at Phidias. Here's why: because the drawdown stays static, is static. That means it never trails up. Okay, this is a massive psychological advantage. And this account works beautifully for two types of traders. The first one are the beginners. It's incredibly accessible, low cost to get started, simple rules, and a clear path to your first funded account. You can learn the process without a huge financial commitment. Okay? Plus, once you pass it, you get direct access to a live account. No intermediate steps, that's just unique in this industry. So then the next type of accounts, there are the 50k and 100k and 150k fundamental, the intraday workhorses. So if you are a day trader who focuses on the main session and likes to be flat by market close, these are your accounts, definitely. Personally, I trade the 100k fundamental frequently, even every day, because the extra allowance gives me flexibility to scale into winners. And the target is very achievable with consistent daily goals. Then the next type of accounts, there are the swing accounts for session traders and overnight players. So that's why if you like to catch moves that develop over multiple sessions, or you trade around economic releases in the morning, swing accounts are just the perfect fit for you. They have the same rules as the fundamental accounts, but you can hold positions overnight and over the weekend. And this opens up strategies that simply aren't possible on fundamental accounts. So I made a quick guide for you to explain you which account is right for you. And the beautiful thing is, there's no wrong choice. Each account is designed for a specific trading style. So you just need to pick the one that matches how you trade, and then you are already ahead of most of people. So now that you have chosen your right account, let's talk about the skills that separates consistent traders from everyone else. and I mean the position sizing. Because this is where many traders struggle. And not because it's complicated, but because they don't have a clear framework. So let me give you mine. That's the table of my position sizing framework according the volatility too, of course. Let me break down the thinking here. On a 25k static account, I trade with 1 micro. Okay, 1 micro. This keeps my risk small and controlled on each trade. With the static drawdown protecting my profits, I can build the account methodically. So you just need to hit $100, $150 per day, if you are able to, of course. And then I'm passing in about 2 weeks. No stress, no heroics needed. Then on the 100k fundamental, because I trade it every day, I trade with 4 micros. This gives me flexibility to scale in when a setup is working, while keeping my base risk around $200, $300 per trade. With a $3,000 drawdown, that means I can have a string of 10 losing trades before I'm in trouble. That's a lot of runway to find my pace, my rhythm. Just size for longevity, not for speed. Small consistent gains compound. Aggressive sizing leads to resets. And the goal isn't to pass it in 3 days. The goal is just to pass it. And then do it again on your funded account. And one thing I appreciate about Phidias is how transparent and straightforward their rules are. No hidden clauses and no gotchas. But here's the thing. The traders who succeed don't just know the rules. They use them strategically. And let me show you what I mean. At Phidias, your drawdown is calculated at the end of each trading day. And why is this amazing? Because it gives you flexibility during the session. If you are up $2,000 at noon, but the market pulls back and you close at plus $500, your drawdown only trails based on that $500 at the end of the day and not to the $2,000 peak. And Phidias end of day system is much more trader friendly. And one key point, while your drawdown trails at end of day, if you hit the liquidation level at any point during the day, the account closes. So manage your risk accordingly. Rule number 2, minimum free trading days. Use these wisely. You need minimum free trading days to pass the evaluation. And this is actually a gift in disguise. It forces you to be consistent, not lucky. Anyone can have one big day, and Phidias wants to see you can repeat it. And one pro tip that I can share with you, if you hit your target early, just keep trading those final days, reduced size, stay sharp, bank a little extra profits, and prove to yourself that you belong. Don't just coast. Use the opportunity. Rule number 3, fundamental vs swing. Know your account. Okay, you just need to know your account. On fundamental accounts, all positions must be closed before 10 p.m. UTC. On swing accounts, you can hold overnight and over weekends. This isn't a restriction. It's just a feature. The only one swing accounts in all the Propfirm industries, guys. Just think about why Phidias, they are the only Propfirm in the world, offers you to trade, to make swing trades on the market. If you are a pure day trader, fundamental keeps you disciplined. And if you want to catch overnight moves, swing gives you that freedom. So just set an alarm if you are on fundamental and make closing your positions a ritual and not an afterthought. And the rule number 4, daily loss limit. This freedom with responsibility. Unlike many other prop firms, Phidias doesn't have a daily loss limit. Only the overall trailing drawdown matters. This gives you flexibility on volatile days. But here's my advice. Create your own daily loss limit. For example, mine, generally, I use 20% of my total drawdown as my personal stop for the day. And with that, Phidias gives you this freedom, and so you just need to use it wisely. And now we get to the fun part, the actual trading. My bread and butter is playing momentum at the open. This is one of the parts of the day where I make the majority of my profits, and here's exactly how I approach it. The first 30-60 minutes of the US session just after the open is where the edge lies. I watch where price is relative to key levels, for example, overnight, high, low, liquidity area, VWAP, previous days, high, low, and so on. Then I look the strength of the buyers or sellers in the DOM, on the price, on the charts, on the tape, the time and sales, trying to figure it out in which way the market wants to go. And then at the end, I just look for one thing: commitment. And once you are in a trade, as I said, every single day in live stream, hit and run, because it's the open, and at the open everything can happen. And here's what it looks like in practice. So here it is a kind of open. We have an open drive. I call this one like that because directly at the open we are just driving, we are ripping back up and just going straight forward to the upside. That's why I'm looking at the DOM. That's why I'm looking in this kind of opening at the tick time frame, and I'm gonna try to enter in this kind of pullback. And I remember that I took this trade over there because in tick time frame I got a nice entry over there. I had a lot of buyers, I had all the confirmations on the charts in pre-markets, and during the open I had everything. And I remember that I took this one and I played it until over there, something like that, in this area, and I catch it, these moves around 50-60 points, and my day was done directly at the open. And this kind of open, there are the asymmetry that passes my evaluations. Now the opening isn't always clean. Sometimes the market chops, sometimes you just miss the move. That's why you need multiple setups in your arsenal, and here are my go-to plays for the rest of the session. I call this kind of setups my strategic trades because I get an idea on what kind of trade I want to play, and this is thanks to this idea that I'm trying to search some signals. And I'm gonna give you some ideas about these setups that I'm trying every single day to play. The first setup is the gap fill. When the market gaps overnight and doesn't immediately continue in the gap direction, there's often a high probability of filling that gap. And I look for gap fills when the market shows early weakness strength against the gap and we are above below VWAP confirmation, the counter gap move, okay? And the target is obvious, just trying to target this filling of this gap. The second setup is the initial balance. The initial balance, it's pretty simple. I freaking love it. There are the high and low of the first hour after the opening, and this initial balance, high and low, act like magnets. Price respects them all day, okay? That's why I'm targeting the initial balance after the first hour, because historically we have 98% of chance on the Nasdaq to break it, either high or either low, it doesn't matter. So that's why I'm just trying to figure it out in which direction the market wants to go, and then I'm taking a position in the same way of this direction, especially in day trading, and I'm not doing any more scalping, targeting this initial balance, okay? So if I'm targeting the initial balance high, I'm gonna take a long. If I'm targeting the initial balance low, I'm gonna take a short. I'm doing it almost every day in trading live stream on this Phidias Propfirm YouTube channel, so I invite you to watch this trading live stream and seeing and how I trade this kind of setup. The setup number 3 is the range extreme fade. On consolidation days, you will have plenty of these during an evaluation and even during when you are funded. So that's why the play is just fading the extremes. Easy to say, but more harder to do it in practice. When we have established a clear range, so you have your resistance and you have your support, and price approaches to the high or low with weakening momentum, I take the fade. And the key is only fade with confirmation. For example, a weak rejection, that's the ideal, or a failed breakout, or just a divergence on the tape. Never fade just because it looks high or it looks low. Then the setup number 4, one of the easiest one, just a trend following on pullbacks. On strong days, the best thing you can do is wait for pullbacks and just join the move. Surf on the wave. I look for pullbacks to VWAP or to the 72.89 EMA. That's my thin lines because they are working just perfectly on every time frame. That's where I'm looking for pullbacks. The key is patience in this kind of setup, trend following. That's why you just need to wait for the pullback to stop. Then enter on the continuation. Setup number 5 now, and the last one is the intermarket correlation. This is my edge detector for sure. When ES and NQ are diverging, for example, one making new highs and while the other lags, pay attention. I watch especially on this one for recorrelation. When the lagging index starts catching up, that's often a clean trade. And to conclude this video, let me bring this all together. Passing a Propfirm evaluations, it's not about being a genius trader. It's not about having a secret indicator, and it's not about luck too. It's about doing simple things consistently. So that's why you just need to choose the right accounts for your trading style. Phidias has options for everyone. Size your position for sustainability and not speed, and use the rules to your advantage. End of day trading, no daily loss limit, flexible account types, trade your edge at the right times of the day with the right setups, protect your mental capital as your financial capital, and follow a routine that removes emotion from the equation. Do this and you are not hoping to pass your evaluation. You are expected to pass it every time. And here's what I want you to remember. The evaluation is just the beginning. Once you pass, you have access to real capital, real payouts, and a real path to becoming a professional trader. At Phidias, after just 3 payouts or $75,000 of cumulative withdrawals, you move directly to a live account. Daily payouts, no limits. That's the real opportunity. And the evaluation, it's just the door to enter and becoming and enjoying all these opportunities that trading and Phidias Propfirm offers you. And if you are serious about this, not as a hobby, not as a gamble, but as a real path, then take what I've shared with you today and put it in action. I'll see you on the other side in a next trading live stream on this YouTube channel or in the next video. It was Florian Trader. See you soon. Bye bye bye.
Money talks, future markets breathe fire. Locked in the charts, pushing limits, taking it higher. Roll the dice on contracts, no casino, this grinds trust. Risk reward combo, fine line sharp as a thrust. Phidias crew, Propfirm kings of the floor. Blueprint on charts, they